which teams are where. Let's see. Give us 1 second here to identify who is where. So we have, of course, Kitai no team. Let's see. Rito, Jinochi, Kitai no Rookie, Mayuge. Right. Let's see here.
I believe the team that was green is going to be Kitai no team. We'll have to see how that's allocated within the actual game itself. So let's check out. We have Rainmaker on Inkblot Art Academy now. We're seeing a lot of the same weapons that we were seeing before. It is, I believe, going to be Kitai no team that is coming out in the green here, and their opponents will be in the purple. So Myotonia going to be the team in the purple here. It looks like the first pop of the Rainmaker will go to Kitai no team. A stray suction bomb going to take any stragglers that might be sitting there out, but there's nobody around. And it looks like Kitai no team doing a fantastic job of backing all but one player off, and that last player will grab the Rainmaker, so a bit of a steal there. They'll even get a straight point off of it, but they may have overextended there. That's a 3-down situation forced onto Myotonia by Kitai no team, so they will get their lead back and continue to push forward into the opponent's plat.
I don't even think that they meant to pick up the Rainmaker in that situation. I think pressure on Kitai no team. Instead, we're going to see it go back. Not really a whole lot, and this is a Tentatek splatter shot. We need to keep in mind that that is one of the strongest weapons here because the Inkjet can put pressure on that plat. We talked earlier about having to get creative to find a way to put pressure on that plat because the enemy knows that you're going to be doing that. One of the best ways, an Inkjet, and going to die with that Inkjet to Kitai no team's Brella. And this has been a bloodbath here at the beginning. That 47, a pretty solid opening push, but as long as the Rainmaker is over on this side, you have to be careful, though it does return to the middle.
So that's going to be Mayube going in with the Brella here, who's going to come away with the kill as well, trying to pop that Rainmaker. They get that 3-down situation. The Tentatek's still alive, though, so they have to be wary of that. They will fall, and now the Brella pushing up the Luna as well, trying to get some early ink in here. They make it all the way into the 30s, trying to get the Baller out as well, just to ensure that this push continues, but they'll be stopped at 16. The Baller will go down as well, expending a lot of resources to get it there, but moving up that ramp is around the safe area on this map. I would say once you get up to that ramp, it's relatively safe. With the caliber of teams that we have today, nothing is ever truly safe, but getting into the 16 mark on this map is not bad considering how difficult it can be to move through the enemy's plat, especially when it's so short of a distance to come back from your spawn to that plat area. So well done to them. It's going to take a good amount of effort here for Kitai no team to not come out of this one being the Game 1 winner. Still a lot of game left to go, though. Both teams going 2 down. And let's see how this one plays out.
Some more jockeying for position here, and we can't state enough how able to play defense on this map because, like you said, the reason that that ramp is such a safe zone is because, as you said again, it takes no effort whatsoever to get back down from there. You spawn so close to it, you can set yourself up however you like, and it's a point-blank shot for a Stingray if you have to use it. Not that the Stingray is concerned about range, but it is something that is worth noting. You can sit in that spawn. You can have a completely safe avenue of doing it. And I love the pressure that this Luna has been putting on everybody the entire time. Gets taken out there. A very nice snapshot there. If that Luna gotten that second shot off, that would have been a double. Would have been even more pressure. Instead, we're going to be going back the other way. We might finally see a little bit of pressure, although this splatter shot, making things very difficult, does go down. But look at where they're all set up. 3 of them all set up, waiting in the ink, sharking around. You can almost hear the Jaws theme.
Not a bad reference as well, and they're doing a great job of dodging just the plethora of bombs that are being hailed their way, mostly splat bombs and I think maybe 1 or 2 others, but now they're finally looking for their opportunity to push forward here. They will get a beautiful direct with the sloshing machine to shut that push down at 49. Still plenty of time though for another push to happen here, as 3 are going to go down on the side of Myotonia. So Kitai no team shutting that one down successfully. They're going to have the Stingray as well. That's an optimal time to pop it when they're all coming back from spawn and they're kind of grouped up still. A lot of them have gone, at least 2 of them have gone over to this far left-hand side, so trying a different approach here as they look for new ways to get back into the middle portion of the map. The Range Blaster will fall to a well-placed shot from the Rainmaker, looking for a double as well onto the Brella, but again, the Brella has the extra advantage of blocking those incoming shots, so they will fall to that Brella, who's going to be able to block incoming fire as well as they work with the Inkstorm to pop that Rainmaker shield. Gets the kill as well. This Brella has really put in their day's work for this tournament.
Gonna have to put in a little bit more, unfortunately a little. 3 down. for Kitai no Team. The last one is the Sloshing Machine, but the Auto Bomb coming in and evening that one up very quickly. The Range Blaster has to retreat back to the side. It's going to allow the Sloshing Machine to come back over, and you know that the Sloshing Machine is finally close, and now indeed does have. Going to run all the way back. What? Is this what I think it is? Are you going to run all...
What's going on?
I see why. It's because they know that they already have the... So why not sit all the way back and just fire from there? Unless there's some other shenanigan I don't know about. There's not.
Oh my gosh. And it worked too. It worked.
All the way.
The Stingray, the optimal strat, knowing that they didn't want to get into another firefight because they were so close to that Stingray, they say, you know what, I'll take a leisurely stroll back to my spawn, popping the Stingray, and to their great credit, finding the Rainmaker immediately, melting them down, and shutting down any opportunity that Myotonia might have had to try and push in overtime. An 18 KA coming out in a losing effort for Myotonia's Splatbrella user, but it is going to be Kitai no Team who comes away with that game.
And calling it a leisurely stroll, we use that term a lot of different things. That was quite literally a leisurely stroll. He wasn't even swimming. That was just walking back, jumping in kid form, and then just waiting there. I mean, we switched off, but I had to imagine there was a little dance up there, a couple sloshes, do your laundry, sit around, squid bag nobody in particular, and then very quickly just mow down the Rainmaker with the Stingray. But that was a nice little bit of entertainment there, and a little bit of style to cap off what was a very convincing and strong game one.
Yeah, definitely wanted to kill time there until the end. I'm sure we could have seen some definite crazy squid bagging or whatever from the spawn of Kitai no Team there, but that is not to discredit Myotonia at all. The Brella popped off that first game, getting an 18 KA, being a huge impact on the offensive pressure that they bring in, which is going to be so necessary on Blackbelly Skate Park, which can be one of the most volatile maps in the entire game. Tower control especially, because you have to have somebody on the tower, because you're confined in very tight spaces, and because that tower has to rest in such a closed off hallway area. Things like the Sloshing Machine and the Stingray can so excel, as can the Inkstorm. You can just send the Inkstorm barreling down that mini ramp area, and it can do some very devastating damage that only requires one or two more shots from one of your teammates in order to finish off an enemy player. So when you push, you have to be very careful. We are seeing one major changeover that I see, and that is to the Forge Splattershot Pro, something I haven't seen too much. They are going to be running Object Shredder and 2 mains worth of special power-ups, so they are really going to be relying on putting those bubbles up, likely near the tower, just to give them a bit of a shield, which is a super smart strategy.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's amazing just how quickly that thing gets built up. I always want to look at these players and see what builds they're running. I feel like more often than not, it doesn't have anything to do with special charge. It just builds it up that quickly, and that was the most annoying spot to place one, both for them and for us. Of course, that Cloud does not like spectator cam anymore, wants to go back to the old way of watching Platoon, apparently. In any case, we are back here on the left side of the map. You see them being very cautious here, not trying to get into too much trouble. That's the strongest bubble I think I've ever seen, getting the kill there. The Luna Blaster taking its time, not opting to chase down, and is getting taken out as we see what looks to be some sort of flank here. We'll see if anything comes, although at this level, flanks have not worked out today.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the loudest pops of the bubble I've heard, and as you said here, it's going to be very difficult to flank because both teams know it's a very definite possibility, so they are having somebody back there prepared for just such an inevitability. So they're unfortunately getting caught out by 3 members there as the Forge Splattershot. They're going to go down pretty quickly. That's a 2-down situation forced by Kitai no Team on to Myotonia, so they will have the Luna Blaster sharking around. The Stingray is going to come out from Kitai no Team, or from Myotonia, as they try and lock it down. The Luna Blaster hanging on to their baller, but they will die with it without being able to pop it. That is a lead gain for Kitai no Team, and they only have 1 player alive, so at least they got what they came for. But 75, especially on this map, is basically nothing. So lots of work still to be done. A special or 2 already built up on the side of Myotonia, including this flat bomb launcher that we're seeing here. They're going to come away with 1 kill there onto Mayube and get the lead right back. So it's going to be a massive trade there as they also just tap that Luna to death, and they will possibly be the first team here to get this tower into the half-pipe area.
You would think so, but this is going a little bit slower than I was expecting. The Rapid Blaster has had a chance to spawn here for Kitai no Team. They're going to have a chance to make something happen here. The Rapid Blasters fight each other, but this time it is not Kitaino team that goes down, or that comes out on top. The Rain Cloud again coming in. Another Rain Cloud going down, this time from the other team, and everything is dying. It is raining death here, but it does look like this push is going to continue, or maybe not. I spoke too soon. Blackbelly Skate Park, ladies and gentlemen.
Also, just the commentator's curse in general. When you say something, the opposite is bound to happen. So they are trying to execute that strategy. As we mentioned, the bubble's coming out right next to the tower, and Kitaino team, because of it, forced to sort of back off at the prospect of those bubbles detonating sometime soon. Kitaino team attempting to push forward here with this baller that didn't get to be used last time by the Luna Blaster. They died in the process. They're going to pop it preemptively here. There's a couple members hanging around by the tower for Myotonia, but they won't go down. They position themselves wisely as the Luna is able to get someone from around a wall with that indirect shot. A smart play there. They're going to look for some more kills. They're pressing in very, very far, trying to keep Myotonia from getting anywhere close to the tower, and it pays off here. Kitaino team having to spend a lot of resources to do that, but they now have control of the tower, and they have an Ink Storm to boot.
A double Ink Storm, in fact, if I'm not mistaken there. Or maybe it is only one. No, I think it was two in that situation that came out there. Not a whole lot coming, though, because the Stingray does not care what the weather is. It's going to do its thing. They still have one up on tower, though, so they will have a chance to make a push here, although it looks like the one on tower is going to wait as long as possible, try to get a sharking kill, but sharking Umbrella does not usually go well, and it does not go well there either. The Luna Blaster has worked its way back to the middle, and the Luna Blaster has to be the key player here, but instead it's going to be the Umbrella here, and what a performance that we are seeing right now. This is still a very low-scoring game, like we talked might happen, but right now, it's really looking like Myotonia has a great grasp of this here. Another big kill. Not going to be able to get off the Rain Cloud, though, and that might be instrumental in ending this push.
Yeah, Myotonia really playing like they want to force a game 3 here. Nice trade there, having to get a little bit of a left-hand side flick in order to get that kill, but that's a 3-down situation forced on a Kitaino team with only 30 seconds left. So Kitaino team going to have a very short amount of time to try and build up these specials. All they can really do is rush over to this half-pipe area and try to get 1 or 2 lucky kills with their bombs, because I don't think Myotonia is going to be able to fall if they remember to just back off and let the tower sort of sit where it is. They have plenty of map control in mid. There's nothing they really need to do. The only special at the ready here has just been used, and that's the Ink Storm. The bubble's coming out as well. Kitaino team desperately trying to get on the tower, which they will achieve. They will force overtime. They have the Brella on the tower, so that will give them some defense, and maybe something can happen here as they're pressing forward into this half pipe.
I think that the Stingray is going to happen now, and it did. They waited. That was dirty. That was so dirty. They waited for the tower to hit the checkpoint, and then they used the Stingray, because they know what's easier than hitting a slow-moving target? A target that doesn't move at all.
It's just like we saw on the Inkblot Art Academy game. You just have a Stingray user at the last second sit back, say, okay, when are you going to get the objective? When are you going to get the Rainmaker, or in this case, the tower? Come back and just burn them down. We see a couple of really high KAs, which does not surprise me. The Rapid getting 19, the Brella getting 16. The Brella's been instrumental in these games here, and we now are going to require a Game 3 to settle this one. We'll be going to Splat Zones on Snapper Canal, just a 1-zone map, but it can be a very difficult zone to get entirely, as you mentioned earlier.
It is, and this is one of those maps that a lot of teams are trying to figure, especially on Splat Zones. There's so many angles of entry here that you have to account for all of them, but it's such a wide map. There's so much room for you to get specials. There's room for big flanks. There's a lot of different ways, and it's so hard to keep control of all of it. Inkstorm, definitely the best special here in terms of map control, because you can just let it go, and it will get the entire zone by itself if left to its own devices. Don't be surprised if both teams run 2 Inkstorms here. I'm not saying it'll happen, but I'm saying I would not be surprised if it did happen. And given the way both of these 2 games went, it's hard for me to pick a favorite here.
It's going to be tough. I mean, both of these teams have had exceptional performances. It's been very back and forth, and I haven't seen too much of a one-sided battle either way. Myotonia really did a great job of getting back into that game, not really relinquishing control that often, and also just maintaining map control in mid. I think their weapons really catered to the map and mode combination, and the game really, in some cases, with some teams being so close in skill level, is either decided by the little mistakes your team makes or just by the weapon comp you decide to bring, especially compared to your enemies. So with things like the Rapid Blaster that can tap the tower from range and basically stay safe while doing so, and also lay down some ink with that Splat Bomb launcher, and with things like the Splatbrella that can protect themselves and also launch off that Ink Storm, which we're going to be seeing 2 of on the side of期待のteam and 1 of on the side of Myotonia. It's going to be a rainy day here on Snapper Canal, but I mean, honestly, I could not call this game 3 for either team. It's going to be super, super close.
Yeah, we already see one of those rain clouds coming down, like you said. The other one has already been expended as well. And hey, it's that rainy. Why not take a swim while you're at it? Everybody is getting drenched here today. And both of these Brellas, God, this is such a scary composition. If they both run together, how are you supposed to kill that?
And joining with that, you have the Splatter Shot, which already has that splashdown at the ready, and the Luna Blaster, which gives you that baller. That's going to provide you not only a good chunk of ink on the zone if you want it, but it also can just surprise you, walk right up to you, and detonate. So it's going to be such a difficult comp to contend with. The big differences on the side of Myotonia are that they have the one Brella of their own, which is going to have to play phenomenally to outplay 2. And then they have the Rapid Blaster, which if it stays at range and if it can get its shots past that Umbrella shield, it's going to be one of the most instrumental weapons in taking out those 2 Splat Brellas. And then, of course, the N-Zap, that's going to give them... Oh, okay, well, that was a bit optimistic. That was maybe worth it, but not when they have their shield at the ready. But the N-Zap, if they are able to pop that ink armor consistently, they will have an extra shot that they are able to take. So it all comes down to how effective Myotonia can be at building up those 2 specials and maintaining their optimal distance.
And they've done a pretty good job of it so far. That double rain cloud just eating that zone, going to lose control, not quite take it yet, and that might have been just enough of a defense for them to take it back, and it is. That's 3 down. That was the last-ditch effort there. They threw both of their rain clouds on the same side at the same time. The only one left is the Luna Blaster, and the Luna Blaster's not going to be able to paint the zone. They've got to come up with something desperate now, and they know it too. Very well-timed splashdown, not going to kill everybody, but nobody seems to be dying to anything. I don't think they're going to be able to get it. They are not. What an incredible showing here by a team comp that you didn't think was necessarily tooled for it. Myotonia, an exciting game there. Even if it didn't last as long, so much was happening in that last segment, and they held off all of it.
Myotonia really played well in that game here. They had some incredible moments facing those Brellas 1v1 and keeping them to 2 KAs apiece. They did still have time to build up 3 Ink Storms, but their Brella did the same, and they were able to outduel the members of期待のteam and really prove that they deserve to be here. They will move on. They will get no worse than top 3.期待のteam will be leaving this tournament at the number 4 spot, but they played exceptionally well today, coming away with some huge victories over teams like 2000 and Splash, and then later on against Dark Horse as well. So they played exceptionally well. They should be very proud of their performance today, and I would not be surprised if on Twitter later today we were going to see some team pictures of them.
I love that practice. Can I just say that? I
It's
love
wonderful.
that